CSI effect. I'm going to go through what exactly it is, why some people think it's a problem, and then give you guys a couple of examples of exactly what it is. So how many of you guys have watched the show CSI? Almost everybody. Has anybody ever heard of something called the CSI effect? So the CSI effect is a theory stating that because of this extreme exaggeration of forensic science in shows like Dexter and CSI, that the jurors have now come to expect the exact same type of forensic evidence in the courtroom. Forensic, or like people in the forensic industry and attorneys, judges, people who all work in the courtroom have brought up concerns that within the last 10 to 15 years, which is when the show came out and when it started getting more popular, there have been a higher amount of acquittals for people who should be convicted for the crime. So obviously, if you guys see, this could be a problem, because if we're not convicting people because we expect something really up here and it's not attainable, then we're going to end up not convicting people who are killers, who are rapers, and things like that, because we're expecting something that's not real. Personally, I was a forensic scientist major, so I can tell you everything, like about 98% of the stuff in the show is super, super exaggerated. And it's funny, and I like to watch the show, and I'm like, that's not even real, but I'll give you guys a couple of examples. So the first thing I would say is the super fast turnaround time. So turnaround time means from the time you get the physical evidence in your actual possession to the time you release your results. In the show, turnaround time is a couple hours, maybe a day, 2 days max. In real life, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months to do one piece of evidence. So in the show, say you think there's blood, you spray it, it turns pink, and they're like, oh my god, it's blood, go test it, who is it? In real life, yes, there's a test that you spray, it turns pink, but that just tells you maybe it's blood. So now you have to go confirm if it's blood, you have to do DNA extraction, you do PCR, you quantify it, you amplify it, you put it into a machine, you have to treat it. So it takes a really, really long time. It's not that easy. Another example is people expect there to always be DNA evidence, and people expect it to be 100%. So if there's DNA, you can tell me 100% this person committed the crime. In real life, most crimes don't have DNA evidence. Nowadays, people know that if you leave your blood behind or if you leave your hair, you're going to get caught. So people don't do that. So really what you're working off of is circumstantial evidence. So if people are expecting DNA evidence, it's not going to happen. So you're not ever going to convict anybody. And in the case, if you do get good actual blood evidence that you can use, when you read a profile, it's never 100%. The most you can say is there is a 1 in 100,000% chance that this person did not commit the crime. So pretty much it's 99.99% sure that they did do it, but you can never say 100%. So again, if that's what people in the jury's expecting, then you're never going to reach that. So we're going to have killers and everybody running around all crazy. And the third example is my favorite. After you do all the examinations and everything, you put in your results into this magical computer, and it tells you, oh, this person, Bob, was a killer, and he was wearing a blue shirt that day, he had just finished running, and in 20 minutes, you can go pick him up at Burger King. And then there they go, and that's it. Well, there is this really, really cool computer, and it's actually two different databases. One is called CODIS, and CODIS holds your DNA profile, and one is called APHIS, and that holds your fingerprints. So the way in the TV, they just put it in and it comes up and it tells you what it is. But how it really works is you put in the information that you guys have, and if the person is already in the database, then it'll come up. But the only way the person is in the database is a couple of ways. If you are a suspect or have ever been committed of a crime, you're going to go into the database. Or if you have ever done volunteering with children or the SPCA or whatever, you have to get fingerprinting, your information goes into the database as well. But if you've never done any of that stuff, you're not going to be in there. So even as cool and as helpful as this computer system is, it's only so helpful. So say if I came in, killed everybody here, left my DNA, left all my hair, left all this stuff behind, they can put it in the computer, but since I've never been fingerprinted and I've never committed a crime, I'm not going to come up. So as long as I don't ever commit a crime in the future, or as long as I don't ever have to get fingerprinted, then pretty much my DNA is no good to anybody, because you guys, it's never going to come up. So overall, I just want to say, think about the stuff you guys are watching. obviously you guys know TV's not real, so you guys know like you're not gonna solve a crime in an hour. You know that there's not always people fighting and doing all this extreme stuff, but even the background stuff like the science and things like that is not real. So go home, watch CSI, have fun, and I hope I didn't ruin the CSI show for you guys.
If only it was as cool in real life as it was on the show.